Welcome back to the HTML5 Beginners course, Lesson 7, Tables. In this lesson, we'll really only be covering one item, creation of tables for data in HTML. So for this lesson, I've created a new file, called it 07tables.html, created our document template in Emmet, and named it Lesson 7. Now tables are for the purpose of displaying organized data in HTML. And they have a very distinct layout, almost like the HTML document itself. To create a table, the first thing we need to do is create a table element. And inside the table element, we need a head for our table. Now the head for the table is where the different headers for our columns will appear. So the next thing we'll do is create a table row. And inside the table row, we're going to create our headings, which are TH. And let's do first name, last name, and do email. And let's save that and take a look at the header for our table. Okay, as we can see, we have all three of our column names set up now. Let's go back and add some data to display in the columns. Next, we need to add some data to our table that matches our table headings. So to do that, we'll first create a table body, add a table row again for our first set of data, and we'll add table data, which is TD. And this one needs to correspond with our first item here, first name. So we'll add John. Then another line of table data, and it needs to correspond with our last name. And so we'll add Doe. And then finally, a third table data tag, and it will correspond with the email. So we'll do John Doe at email.com. All right, let's save this and let's take a look at how it appears. So now that we've got some data added to our table, we can look at our elements a little closer. See our first name, our last name, and our email. And then our table row is the entire block underneath that. And John corresponds with first name, Doe with last name, and John Doe email.com with the email. So let's go and see how we add more sets of data to our table. Okay, so to add more sets of data, we have to add more rows. And we'll copy and paste this row below. We'll change it to Jane Doe. Change all of it to Jane. And now let's go see our data in the browser. Now as we can see, each of our rows is indeed a new set of data. And table data is contained exclusively in that row for that data set. So this is the basics of HTML lists. In our next lesson, we'll take a look at creating forms in HTML.